Hello, it's Mark from superagates.com, and today I have my large tumbler running round and round. It's been going for about a week now with 60-90 grit. Got a variety of materials in there. Primarily I'm doing it to polish slabs for projects. And I thought maybe you might find it interesting, the struggles I go through to empty a tumbler of this size. So let's shut the machine off and see how it goes. And what I do is I have to use a little leverage because this is extraordinarily heavy. And that went well. That went almost too well for good video. So the bolts are on here. I have to loosen the nuts on them to get to the tumbler. It's a homemade tumbler out of thick PVC pipe, and it is lined with conveyor belt. This is always the fun part of tumbling, to see how it looks. Of course, it's not finished, it's just the beginning. So I get these nuts off of here. And one of the problems I have is that the nuts sort of are hard to get off. So now it's not bolted down. What we need to do is use a screwdriver to open it up. I don't have to be careful for contamination because this is 60-90. And as you can see, it's sort of a sludgy mess. I like to clean the lid off when it's still wet so it doesn't turn to cement. Oh, that's probably good enough. So, initially, because I don't want to slop too badly, is I dip some of this foamy sludge off. I can feel it's very smooth, so the 60-90 is all wore out. I use a lot of soap products in here. It makes cleanup easier. With this, I've been experimenting with Simple Green. And the Simple Green seems to work pretty well. I normally use Jet Dry, but the Simple Green might be a little cheaper too. So you can sort of see I got a bucket and about a half a bucket of this sludgy stuff. And now the fun part. So the trick is to tip this without a complete disaster. Okay, so that's one bucket. So there is the empty barrel, or relatively empty. Oh, there's a couple slabs stuck in the bottom. Oh, look at that, what I did to my microphone. So basically what I have here is the contents of this bucket. So what I want to accomplish is to clean it. Already you can see even that little bit of cleaning helped. One of the things I like to make are polished slabs. And I have ideas for projects. Hopefully it'll be in a video upcoming. Because this is my shed, I can be very dirty. So we got that one pretty well clean. Now I need another bucket of clean water. Are we live? Okay, so let's see what we got here. I mean, just look at that red zebra. Oh, that's going to be beautiful stuff. Just beautiful. And I can feel that they're nice and smooth, so it's ready to go. In there I also have black zebra. When it comes to rock, contrast is everything. Color, pattern, yes, but contrast is very important. If you had a beautiful red agate, but it was all red and no contrast, it wouldn't be pretty. And the point I'm making is that there's no better contrast than you can get with black and white. So even in a tumbler of this size, I can run a bunch of slabs through with relatively small damage. And most of the damage that I might have would be due to a crack or defect in the slab that I missed. But just lovely slabs. And then, of course, there is what I call the fodder, which is in itself probably more valuable than the slabs. I mean, there's beautiful amethyst, rose quartz, natural citrine, some South Dakota bubble gum, just a variety of different things. Of course, when you like rock like I do, it's all gorgeous. This will be a small piece for wire wrapping, just lovely looking. Lots of good stuff in here. Now you'll notice I have some of these really small pieces here. Those small pieces. And you say, well, why does he use that? Well, you have to have a certain amount of small to cushion the larger stones and to drive the grit against the stones. And I used to use a lot of ceramic, which works wonderfully, but at the end of the day, the ceramic is very expensive. It wears out as well, and you don't have a finished product to sell. But, I mean, for certain projects, stones this size are just perfect. But it's just loads and loads and loads of this. Now, of course, I'm going to have to go through this and pick out the good, the stuff that's ready to go on, and the stuff that isn't. Some of it is ready to go on to the next step, and some of it is not. And as I say, the main reason I did it was for the, now here's one that probably broke in the process, is for the slabs. I think I've got some slabs on the top of this one. Just look at that. I think that is beautiful stuff. And hopefully I'll be able to get my projects to work. And there you can see a bunch of the smalls in there. And I'm pretty thrilled about that. I have a lot of people that want smalls. And I will be able to produce them now. There's nothing more fun than to look at a finished tumbler full of good stuff, especially if there's a variety. So what do we have here? Here's a piece of carnelian. Of course, we got amethyst. We got rose quartz here. Just a lot of different things. There's a piece of Brazilian. Just a lot of good stuff. Here's another slab. Just lovely. Contrasting slabs, just lovely. This is a piece of material that I pick up in the Badlands of South Dakota. I believe this is as well. In a tumbler of this size, I can get quite large pieces through it too. The difficulty is cutting those large slabs and trimming them and getting them ready for it. And then you can only do one or two at a time. So you sort of get the idea of what I've done here. I got a wide variety of different things here that I've used as small things to do the slabs. It's the slabs that I'm looking for. This is a nice piece of Laguna. I think we're pretty much down to small stuff in this one. Let me see if I can possibly clean this out a little bit and look at what we got in here. Lost a few of them. And again, another slab. Now most of these slabs are relatively small. For the projects I have in mind, that's the right size. But a lot of little pieces here in the tumbler this size, it really produces a lot of stuff. Another nice slab. Really happy with the way it turned out. There's very little breakage. And the lack of breakage is filling it with enough cushion over time. And the advantage I have with this tumbler is the diameter. It's the diameter that grinds fast. The length of the tumbler allows more material and longer pieces, but it's the diameter that grinds fast. Now there's a piece of the black and white zebra that's just lovely. Just lovely. You sort of get the idea how it's working for me. I use this big tumbler so that I can get massive amounts through at a time. And I get the beautiful slabs, and they come out very nice. From this point, I'll have to go to at least probably one more stage and then to polish. I'll probably run them through smaller tumblers with 1500 grit and then onto the aluminum oxide, 2 micron size. And they'll come out gleaming and beautiful. And perhaps I can show that in another video. But thank you for coming along and taking a look at how I run my large tumbler.